Hi there, Michelle Berry Franco here. So, this month we're talking a lot about visibility and kind of what gets in the way of us putting ourselves out there, getting up on the stage, or next week I'm going to talk about getting on video. So, what are the things that get in the way of us doing this? And I know one of those is, what if I make a mistake? What if I'm not prepared in some way? So, I want to tell you about a time that I made multiple mistakes before I even got to know the audience, but very visibly. And when the meeting organizer just basically threw me under the bus, big time, actually while introducing me. So I was at this, I think it was a 3 hour speaking. It was a training event that I was doing. And I had come to this event off of a vacation, and I had written to the team there and said, ask them, what do I need to bring? Will my slides be, all the questions you should ask, by the way. If you need to know those, send me an email and I'll send you questions to ask the meeting organizer. So I had asked those questions. I got a very quick kind of response back that said, yep, everything will be ready for you, which should have been my clue. But anyway, when I got there, they did not have the adapter for my MacBook Pro, which is the very newest, and you need all these crazy new adapters for it. And they literally searched everywhere, all over the building. And everybody in the room was like looking in their bag to see if they had something that would work. It was terrible. It was my understanding that we had handled this, but apparently we hadn't, because I was supposed to use my laptop. I thought they were going to use theirs. I thought that was what her answer meant. So that's number one. And then so the meeting organizer comes to the front of the room as he's introducing me. And he says, so Michelle's here, but first let's talk about, see what happens when you don't bring the right equipment with you. You want to always be prepared. Then he gives an example, and he says, so-and-so from their organization went to his first conference, and he showed up and he didn't even have his own remote. And I mean, that is, if you're a pro speaker, you have your own remote. Can you imagine? I mean, are you seeing where this is going? I'm sitting back there going, I don't have my own remote. Like, I've never had to that point, I had never had to bring my own remote. I have my own remote now. I'm now pro, but I had never had to bring my own remote before. And so I come to so he, says all this stuff, basically uses me as an example. And then says, and here's the most awesome Michelle, who is going to teach us about presentation skills, right? So I'm there to teach about presentation skills, and I've already broken two of these cardinal rules, especially his cardinal rules, which are have your adapter no matter what, which I agree with, and have a remote, which now I agree. It's just, you should just have these things so you don't get in these very uncomfortable situations. So luckily I had 3 hours to recover with this group. And what I was able to say to them, because I had been speaking for and training for a good amount of time by then, I was able to say, I don't have my own remote. So it ended up being kind of this funny thing, and someone lent me theirs, and we all became great friends. But I think I was able to do that because I had, a lot of confidence in my ability to, those two were mistakes that I made, but I knew that I was about to serve them powerfully. I knew it. I came there fully prepared to serve them powerfully, no matter what happened with technology. And that is what I said to them. I said, you know what? If this laptop never got hooked up, if I never found a remote, we would have an awesome session, because I don't need these slides, and I don't need this computer to serve you with this message I'm going to, share with you today. These are going to help. They're my assistant. But that's one of the things I want to teach you today is, and so I just sort of turned it into a teaching moment, which felt, very amazing that I was able in the moment to come up with that. But here's the thing. They were not wrong. I absolutely should have had my own adapter, and I should have had my own remote. Yes. But I recovered, and I recovered because I know in my heart and soul that I am there to serve them, and that I have what they need to be better speakers, and that we can do that on big pieces of paper on the wall all day long. And it will be just as good. It'll just be a different experience. So I bring this back around to you for your consideration. What are the what are the mistakes that could possibly be made? And really think about those. And do they matter in the whole scheme of things? Because this is what I say over and over again in my trainings and in my coaching. And that is, if you're okay, they're okay. So if you make a mistake, the key is that you recover and you be okay and you get back into serving, because that is our job, right? All right. So get out there, make mistakes, have them throw you under the bus and recover anyway. I'm still, surviving and thriving. All right. See you next week.